This is Kessben 93.3 FM, a new wave of excellence in radio.
Kremu mame, why? Kafra. Kremu mame na me nkwa homane so na menye adwuma we embra. Monkaila Bawa, a head of public and external affairs at the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission na adopemine no any enkomo. Yenya de ntie increment bi aba na eno no a non-tariff increases and then the Electricity Company of Ghana etime at the aba. Bawa, if you can hear me, good morning and thank you so much for your time with us.
Hello, good morning, and good morning to your cherished listeners and viewers.
Okay. So, can you tell us, since when did the PURC, together with the other regulatory bodies, plus the service providers within our energy sector, sat down to agree on tariff increment and as well some of the current rate of prices we are seeing within the public space?
I think before I start, I would like to make a correction out there. These are not tariffs. The PURC has not come up with any tariff approval for the utility service providers.
Okay.
These are non-tariff service charges. And these non-tariff service charges include penalties for illegal connections, fees for new connections, separate meters, and all that. So these are the charges that the utility providers requested for and have been approved.
Okay, but do they do that in consultation with the PURC? Do you have an idea of how much should be charged per rate?
Certainly, before any utility provider can charge a customer any amount or any figure, the PURC has to be in the know and has to equally approve same before they can charge that. And these charges are those that they incur in the process of providing new service, in the process of providing separate meters, and all that. So they bring all these, and even these charges that were approved, ECG is taking 50% of the entire amount. So this one that has been approved for the utility is a maximum cap, which is approximately about 50% of the total cost of such services that they would provide for consumers.
Okay, but Ghanaians do not understand the rate in terms of the figures. So how do we make the public understand? Because let's assume it was just thrown into the public without any further explanation and on details.
Before this was given to the utility service provider, they were tasked to embark on severe consumer education. So I think the utility provider, that is Ghana Water, ECG, NETCO, they are supposed to do thorough consumer education before these charges was to be effected, because this was approved before the 1st of February. So they are supposed to go ahead and educate their consumers, of course, their customers, before these charges could be affected. That was the task given to them by the Commission, because these are charges that they also go onto the market to purchase such products. For example, if they are going to draw a service for a customer, it includes conductor purchases, it includes a meter purchase, it includes land taps and all other things. So these were the costs that they submitted to the PURC and then said that the cost was eaten into their tariff so much. And we don't want anything that will come and influence the main tariff. And these are costs that have always been charged by the utility service provider. However, it has been a very long while that these charges have been reviewed. So that is why maybe it is being seen that the increment is astronomical.
Yes, but if that is the case, then it means that the public is going to face a lot of challenges, because per the release I'm seeing this morning, it is on the letterhead of the Electricity Company of Ghana. New service connection charges effective is from the 1st of February 2022. And so they have a table where they have arranged the number of activities and then the type of service you would want them to deliver to you. Then they've categorized it into phase 1 and phase 3 with the PURC approved charges in Ghana cities. So for instance, point 1 is talking about a charge on straight service. For me, as I sit here, I do not understand in terms of the legal, the energy service terms, what you mean, or the ECG means about saying straight service charge. Now, that alone with phase 1 approved by PURC, they are supposed to charge 1,020 Ghana cedis, With phase 3, they are going to charge 1,920. So when it is so vacant like this, how do the public understand some of these things?
Exactly as I told you earlier, the ECG or the utility service provider are supposed to do this education. It is not the PURC that should educate the customers for them. So they are supposed to go ahead and educate the customers what they mean by a straight service. And of course, what they also mean by one pole extension or two pole extension. And even here, you are mentioning phase 1, phase 2. It is single phase and then 3 phase. 1 phase and 3 phase. That is when they are drawing the power. So this one, I entreat that you try as much as possible. Since you are saying it's on the letterhead of ECG, why don't you reach out to the ECG for them to do a thorough explanation?
But you think the PURC do not also have a responsibility of educating the public? Is that what you are saying?
Oh, we do. Actually, we do. We do have responsibility of educating the public on your rights and, of course, the obligations of the consumer. We have that responsibility. And, of course, the availability of PURC to come to the aid of any consumer who has an issue against the utility service provider. But not on the services of a particular service provider that the PURC would now jump in to play the educational role for the utility service provider. We are not obliged to do that. And of course, in the course of our work, and an issue comes up that a consumer needs to be educated, we can go ahead and do that.
But you can confirm for us that these charges, I know you have seen the release by the ECG, all the charges that have been allocated or mentioned is been approved by the PURC. You can confirm that for us.
That I can confirm to you.
And this is not going to affect the normal tariffs we know.
The tariff, no, this is not going to affect the number. You and I, as existing customers, this is not going to affect us in any way. It's not going to affect us in any way, except you want an additional service in your premises, say a separate meter, say maybe you want a monitoring meter in your premises to help you monitor the consumption of some households, or maybe you want another premises to be connected. In this case, it calls on the ECG to come back to your premises to do extra work, and that is the charges you may end up paying. But you and I, as existing customers, if we are not asking for any of these ones, nothing is going to affect us in terms of tariff changes.
But are we supposed
to? And of course, I still insist that these are not tariff. These are non-tariff service charges.
Okay. Are we to expect some level of increase in terms of tariffs, like within the year?
Oh, in terms of tariffs, the PURC always come up with tariff review. We have a major tariff review and then the quarterly tariff review. And until the parameters are put in play, you may not be able to tell whether it's going to be an increase, tariffs are going to remain the same or reduce. Nobody can say that. Not even the chairman of the commission can tell you that as we speak. So until that is done, by the end of the period, before the commission can come out with its decision.
So hopefully we're looking at the end of the first quarter. For such decision to be taken.
Hopefully by the end of the first quarter, we should come out with a quarterly review, and then whilst we work towards the major tariff review within the year.
Okay. Munkaila Bawa, thank you very much for your time. I'm grateful.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. And Munkaila Bawa, head of public and affairs at the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, and Adope Yaneno Edin Komono. And Pachandra Nesekuliti. Social media, so say ECG for Ton Kania Boom. Pacho PURC say and credit. We know a boa for Womodia bar say Uko ECG. Na opese ECG for no ebedi jumebi de mawa. A boa will be tiano and no. For instance, ebia area money light pole, mo pese womubesi pole at the mamwa. A boa mubetiano and no charges. And as I say, you know. But PURC said one more aware, one more na approve these charges nina. And you know, until so be requested for such services of the electricity company of Ghana, no, and ya they away no, a be affected one kaniabo. And no, yen tumusa. I'm not for